A low-budget Australian movie shot in just 4 weeks on a boat in the Maldives is winning rave reviews from the critics both here and in America. Pitched as the world's first surfy thriller, Caught Inside is about a bunch of mates who head off on a dream surfing safari that all goes to hell as the resident bully becomes unhinged. But 3 years after it was shot, producers have only now managed to get limited release in the cinemas, and like so many Australian movies before it, it's set to disappear from the big screen by the end of the month. Deborah Cornwall reports.
We're all going to have a great time, but there's one thing that can blow it, and that's where one dickhead ruins it for the whole team. My advice is, don't be that dickhead.
Set in the exquisite islands of the Maldives, this latest Aussie indie flick was guerrilla shooting at its best.
Look, there's babies. Ah, beautiful, huh? Hey, Sam, would you trust me?
Yeah, of course.
Caught Inside was filmed in just 4 weeks on a charter boat in the middle of nowhere. The Australian cast and crew, so hell-bent on getting the movie made, they doubled up as cooks, stuntmen and part-time nursemaids.
It's a school of hungry tiger sharks. Told you you'd like it.
While the story is set around a bunch of mates on surfing safari, for first-time director Adam Blakelock, surfing was only ever part of the backdrop.
This film isn't a surf movie, it's a psychological thriller.
What the movie's really about, he says, is the monsters we create.
Come on, mate, you saw how she played us all, eh?
Characters like the beautiful yet recklessly flirtatious Samantha.
What did you do to your leg?
All right.
And the movie's star, ageing surf champ Bull. An immediately recognisable Aussie bully, played with such extraordinary menace by actor Ben Oxenbould. One American critic likened his performance to Robert De Niro in Raging Bull and Robert Mitchum in the original Cape Fear.
Hey, Bobby. You know I said I'd hate anything to happen to you. Oh, I was bullshitting. Oh, no, stop!
Adam Blakelock first had the idea for the movie on a surf trip in Indonesia. He noticed a boatload of surfers who'd broken the time-honoured rule for Australian safaris: no chicks allowed.
One of the girls was a single girl and she was dining out on the captive audience she had of these 6 other fellas. And what she wasn't realising was that she was basically creating these just frustrated monsters between these guys.
What, are you making me walk the plane?
One of the surfers on the boat would ultimately be the inspiration for the character of Bull.
He was a pit bull of a guy, the sort of guy that you see at a pub that you don't want to look twice at because they'll come and confront you. And he very casually turned to his mate in the surf, looked back at his boat with the girl swanning it in her bikini on the front of the boat and said to his mate, "Let's just take her to the beach and f***ing do her." And his mate just kind of nervously giggled and went, yeah. And it sent chills up my spine.
I just come in here, I was doing my own thing, she asked for a rub-down. She's that type of chick. What's a bloke supposed to do? Come on, Bobby, share the love, mate.
You know, for a lot of small towns that I've gone and surfed when I was young, you'd always meet that one guy who was intimidating.
After a long career in comedy, it's perhaps inevitable critics are already comparing Ben Oxenbould's Bull to Eric Bana's breakout performance as Chopper. But what distinguishes Bull from most Australian screen bullies is that he doesn't play the cartoon villain.
Oh, let's all have a little hissy and run away, shall we?
Bull instead is fully formed, a stark portrait of that peculiarly Australian legend, the unhinged alpha male who's both loved and feared, and can be found in every schoolyard, pub or football club.
Do you have many friends, Bull?
I've got heaps of friends. Look around.
The film has already won rave reviews, including audience favourite at the 2010 Sydney Film Festival. But without industry funding, Blakelock has been forced to beg for favours to get a limited release around the country.
There's this fine line between It's this guy who's totally evil, but you can't help to like him.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what I found in you.
Oh, good.
How do you do that?
I'm sure that you guys would know a guy like that. He's one of those guys who turns up at a party or something and you go, oh, hey, he's here, unreal, you know. Let's go, you know.
It's a difficult thing to get people to see an Australian film, and it's heartbreaking because the response to the film has been so wonderful. It will survive on people seeing it, loving it, and telling other people to go and see it.
It has to be tried here. You can't be tried at home.
Tubes.
And thanks, Deborah Cornwall. That's the show for this week. Bye-bye.